saddex goor u lisaayoon ku sariigayda hadduu saakimi waayo sumalkii rugta joogiyo sogob baan u qalaa hadduu saakimi waayo siidhigii cadameed baan salsi subaga ugu badshaa.
Today we'll talk about the most democratic country you probably didn't know. Somaliland.
I know there's a lot of collective knowledge in this room, so I apologize if what I'm about to say is old news to some of you. In 2002, Somaliland held an election where the minority clan won the presidential office by 80 votes, and the transition of power was completely peaceful. No violence, not one shot fired. That doesn't happen anywhere in Africa. That doesn't even happen here.
When people hear Somali, what they usually think is,
look at me, sure. Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now.
I'm the captain now. Well, that's just a small percentage of it. Somaliland is the world's first exporter of camels. If you ate camel meat today, or drank camel milk, or just rode a camel, as you would do on a Saturday evening, strolling on a camel, well, they probably come from Somalia. They also harbor the first ever depicted drawing of a hunter on horseback. That's not something to prove that it's a country. I don't know. They also are the first country to use Irish recognition on the presidential election. The first country to use Irish recognition on a presidential election. Did you record that? In this country, the reason why you don't know it is because it's not on no map, it's not on any channel news, your government don't talk about them, they don't aid them, because it's not recognized by the United Nations. They don't have no army.
UN, you have a problem with that? You know what you should do? You should sanction me. Sanction me with your army. Oh, wait a minute. You don't have an army. I guess that means you need to shut the up. That's what I do if I don't have no army. I would shut the up.
This country actually was once recognized, but for 4 days, their independence was shorter than the line for the penis reduction stone. Brief history about Somalia. It was divided in Italian Somalia and British Somalia. Italian Somalia was in the southern, and British Somalia was in the northern. In June 27 of 1960, the Brits gave independence to the northern part of Somalia, which was the British part. And 4 days later, the Italian part got the independence too. So they united to form what is now known as Somalia in 1960, July 1st. So 4 days after, as I said before, their independence was shorter than a Chinese pygmy. Anyway, they get the independence in 1960, but then there were some issues. And then there was a coup d'etat, and there was a dictator. Dicks always want to take this massacre. They call it the Hegeria's Holocaust. And this Holocaust led to a civil war, which led to the separation of Somalia, which led to the independence of Somaliland in 1991. And that was 30 years after they were united, so they had a pretty good run. That's a pretty good marriage. Now Somaliland is a free country, independent country in 1991. But now they're like, how are we going to govern? And they did something pretty smart to me. A unique governance structure in Somaliland, which is a system that is balancing the Western countries' democracy system and the local traditional system. And for the last 20 years, that's how they've been working. They had a referendum in 2001 to agree on the constitution, and now they can only have 3 political parties, which I think is better than 2. In 2017, they had the election where they used the Irish recognition software, Iris, And they used eye for eye, literally. See, you can't fool us with nothing because they see you, nigga. Literally, they see you. In 2017, they did that because they wanted to legitimate themselves so that the UN would recognize them and they can be a fucking country. I mean, it's been fucking 30 years and they're still here and they're trying to get recognized for being a country where they do everything. They have their border, they have their taxes. They are not recognized by the fucking United Nations. Anyway.
UN? Oh, wait a minute. You don't have an army. What the
They have a good system, but they have a bunch of issues which and I'm not saying Somaliland is good or bad. It's not for me to say. Fun fact about Somaliland, they've been a mini civil war because of quick history. Somalilanders get high on cats. Somaliland is a Muslim country. And I say, what is cat? What do you mean cat? What do you mean? So, Somaliland is a Muslim country. What do you mean cats? Do they smoke the cats? No, that's not what I mean. Look at the cats and they get high. No, that's not what I mean. So Somalilanders, apparently most of Somalilanders are addicted to cats, which is a plant that grows around Yemen and Somalia. And it's kind of like taking 10 coffees and 5 cigarettes, which is also called a French breakfast. So they eat the leaves for days, they eat it for hours, and, they have to eat it wet because dry cat is not as good as wet cat. So, one of the presidents was like, we are a Muslim country. We cannot have our people getting high. Cat is a drug and it should be illegal, guys. People were like, well, you know what? Maybe we'll make you illegal. And then there was a kind of a civil war and they chased him out of office. So, don't fuck with the niggas, cat. Classic Irish move, right? Somaliland is a country that needs to be recognized. Has everything a country has, and it's helped sustain democracy and helped sustain a kind of stability in a part of the world where it's been unstable and people have been torn with war, with famine and desert and all of the other issues. I don't know all of them, but you know what I'm talking about. They have problems, but still they have yet managed to work through these issues and sustain some kind of democracy. They have had 4 different presidents in the last 20 years that they've been independent. 30 years, sorry. And that is a lot to say for an African government. Somalia also has some issues, which is marginalizing women and political leaders holding their terms longer than needed. But these issues should not make them people suffer because the country is not recognized by the United Nations.
UN? Oh, wait a minute. What the
Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of the video.
haddii uu saakimi waayana gabadh suurad wanaagsan baan surradda ugu raraa haddii uu saakimi waayo xoolo gooni u soofiyo sadadaan ku ladhaa haddii uu saakimi waayana seedow mood iyo salaantaan badiyaa haddii uu saakimi waayana salaadaan la labaa xamar suulal madow iyo sallinkaan cuskadaa sulub hoodda ku joogto ayaan sarartaa ku